Welcome back. This is Bar Breakfast on CNBC-TV18. Back home yesterday, the markets ended at the lows of the day. The Nifty gave up the 11,600 mark and the Sensex too fell about 350 points. The Nifty Bank ended 1% lower as HDFC Bank was lower by 2%. The broader markets outperformed, but the mid-cap index still ended lower by about 0.3%. What are the cues stacked up, or rather how are the cues stacked up today? Ekta Batra joins us this morning. Ekta.
Hi, morning. Well, like you mentioned, yesterday, in fact, the markets ended at the day's low. So we had the Nifty, which was below 11,600. We had the Bank Nifty, which was really weighed down by HDFC Bank yesterday. And the rupee also, however, appreciated a tad bit. So the rupee ended at 69.11 versus a close of around 69.29. But the FIIs net bought around 1,429 odd crores in the cash market. The DIIs also net bought around 461 odd crores. Now, global cues seem to be the key focus and the key driver, at least for the near term. So we have Brent crude, which is actually the key negative for our markets, which is inched up to levels of around $71.7 per barrel. Remember, it's at around 5 to 6 month highs. It's the highest level that we've seen in 2019 for Brent crude. So that inch up has taken place. One of the reasons possibly is because of the supplies by OPEC dropping to a 4-year low in the month of March. EU, the European markets, ECB held rates. The European markets closed below before the Brexit extension was announced. So that's just a piece of news to keep in mind. We have the US markets, which in fact ended higher. The Fed has decided that the Fed minutes indicated that there will be no sort of change in rates for the rest of the year. So that's important. Asia is largely mixed at this point in time. And we have the SGX, which is currently indicating that maybe it could be a little bit of a positive start for us this morning. So the SGX should just come up for you at this point in time. Yep, up around 17 odd points. We have the Bank Nifty options expiry, so watch out for that. The positive is that the FII flows have resumed after a brief hiatus. So FIIs have bought around over 3,000 odd crores just in the past 4 sessions. Remember, it's over 40,000 odd crores since the since Feb 20th onwards. So it is that momentum has really continued. We have TCS numbers as well as Infosys numbers which come out on Friday. So I would just watch out for any sort of movement in these two stocks ahead of that as well.
Okay, Ekta, so that was the market setup, but in terms of stocks that you'll watch out for trade today, what are those?
Well, I will be watching out for the likes of Sun Pharmaceuticals because, well, I've managed to access the Dadra 483, which was issued 11 observations by the US FDA. So that particular stock would be in focus on account of that. We have other pieces of news. So, for example, Jet Airways, where Tata Group is unlikely to participate in Jet stake sale at present. So that's what sources have told CNBC-TV18 at this point in time. Also, sources have said the EOI submission is extended to April 12th at this point. Separately, NBCC orders worth over 3,000 odd crores in the month of March. Wipro to consider that share buyback on April 16th. Welspun has received additional pipe orders on a global basis. NMDC, they will react to their production figures, and Wockhardt has received approval for Dacogen generic, which is basically an injection cancer drug. And it is going to be via third party because Wockhardt obviously has regulatory issues at this point in time. But nonetheless, positive news for that.
All right, Ekta, thanks a lot for that. With that, we move on to the big news of the day. As we've been telling you, nearly 1.7 lakh polling booths, 20 states and union territories, 91 constituencies and 1,279 candidates. India starts voting today in the first phase of 2019 Lok Sabha elections. Andhra Pradesh will be the biggest battleground as the state votes for both Lok Sabha and the State Assembly. Neighbouring Telangana will see all the 17 Lok Sabha seats go to polls. 13 seats in the northeast along with a few seats in Uttar Pradesh, Maharashtra, Bihar, West Bengal all vote today. 93% of the candidates in the fray today are men and only 7% are women.